The crystal communication chamber of the Grand Oracle Network is buzzing with emergency transmissions like nothing anyone has ever witnessed in the history of prophetic broadcasting. High Prophetess Celestina Starweaver, whose divine visions have guided kingdoms for over 4 decades, stands before the infinity scrying pool with her hands trembling as she watches real-time updates streaming in from observer stations across 17 different realms. This isn't just any routine prophetic update. This is a cosmic emergency broadcast that's breaking every rule of how prophecy is supposed to work. For the first time in recorded history, a prophecy is changing faster than anyone can keep track of it. Because Ethan the Chosen isn't just getting younger, he's de-aging so rapidly that oracles are having to update their divine visions multiple times per day just to keep up with his transformation. What started as a hero in his prime this morning is now a young man, barely old enough to buy his own sword, and the rate of change is accelerating in ways that are making even the most experienced seers question whether they're witnessing divine intervention or cosmic system failure. If you want to understand what's really happening behind the scenes of this prophecy and which secrets have been hidden by the ancient guardians, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and comment below if you think the oracles are losing their minds or if prophecy itself is breaking down in real time. Let me give you a minute-by-minute breakdown of the most unprecedented prophetic crisis in the history of divine communication that will make you question everything you thought you knew about how destiny is supposed to work. At 6 a.m. this morning, every oracle station from the northern ice temples to the southern desert sanctuaries received the same vision simultaneously. Ethan the Chosen standing in radiant golden armor, appearing to be approximately 28 years old, ready to fulfill his ultimate destiny. By 6:15 a.m., updated visions started flooding in, showing him looking noticeably younger, maybe 26 or 27. By 6:30, the age estimates dropped to 25. By 7 a.m., seasoned oracles who had never been wrong about age assessments in their entire careers were staring into their scrying pools in complete bewilderment, watching their prophesied hero appear to be aging backward in real time, faster than they could document the changes. Can you even imagine the chaos this is creating in the Oracle Communication Network? These are divine seers who have spent decades learning to interpret cosmic visions that might shift slightly over months or years. And suddenly they're dealing with prophecies that are changing faster than weather reports. The Central Prophecy Archive, which normally updates its records once per lunar cycle, has now stationed permanent scribes who are working in rotating shifts just to keep track of Ethan's continuously decreasing apparent age. The Sacred Statistics Department reports that they're going through more prophetic parchment in a single day than they normally use in an entire season. But here's where this gets truly mind-bending. And what you're about to discover will make you realize that rapid reverse aging might be the least strange thing happening to our hero. The oracles aren't just observing Ethan getting younger, they're watching the very nature of prophecy itself transform around him. Traditional prophetic visions show static images of future events, like looking at paintings of what's destined to occur. But the visions involving Ethan have become dynamic, almost like watching a mystical performance in real time. Oracles report seeing him not just as he appears now, but as he appeared 5 minutes ago, and as he's going to appear 5 minutes from now, all simultaneously in the same prophetic vision. Master Seer Valdric Truesight, whose accuracy rate has been legendary for 37 years, experienced something yesterday that has shaken the entire prophetic community to its core. While conducting his routine morning divination, he received what he initially thought was a corrupted vision. Multiple overlapping images of Ethan at different ages, all occupying the same prophetic space. At first, he assumed his scrying crystal was malfunctioning, but when he consulted with oracles from 6 different temples, they all reported receiving identical multi-temporal visions. They weren't just seeing the Chosen One getting younger, they were seeing him exist as multiple ages simultaneously, as if his rapid transformation was creating temporal echoes that were bleeding into prophetic space. The implications of this discovery will blow your mind and make you question whether the oracles are witnessing the evolution of prophecy itself or the complete breakdown of how divine communication is supposed to function. Think about it for just a moment. If traditional prophecy shows what will happen, but Ethan is changing so fast that what will happen becomes obsolete within minutes, then prophecy has to evolve new ways of showing information, or it becomes completely useless for dealing with rapidly transforming situations. The Oracle network is essentially being forced to develop real-time prophetic broadcasting, something that was considered theoretically impossible until this week. The technical challenges this rapid aging reversal is creating for the prophetic infrastructure are staggering, and what the master technicians of divine communication are discovering will revolutionize everything we think we know about how cosmic information flows. The infinity scrying pools, which normally maintain stable connections to future visions for hours at a time, are now requiring constant readjustment as Ethan's changing state disrupts the temporal anchoring that makes prophetic viewing possible. The crystal resonance arrays, designed to amplify and clarify divine visions, are overheating from the effort of processing multiple simultaneous age states of the same individual. But wait, because what happened during yesterday's Emergency Oracle Council meeting will absolutely shatter your understanding of how prophecy relates to time, change, and cosmic destiny. High Seer Morgana Voidwatcher, the most senior oracle in the entire network, made an announcement that sent shockwaves through every prophetic order in existence. She revealed that the rapid updates aren't actually showing Ethan changing. They're showing him returning to his original prophetic state. According to her analysis of the deepest, most ancient prophetic records, the earliest visions of the Chosen One always showed him as young, dynamic, and temporally fluid. The older, more static versions that everyone has been following were actually degraded copies, like echoes of the original prophecy that had lost their temporal flexibility over centuries of retransmission. Leave a comment below about whether you think the oracles are finally seeing the real prophecy, or if this rapid aging reversal is breaking the cosmic communication system entirely. The revelation that the rapidly updating prophecies might actually be more accurate than the traditional static ones has created a theological crisis that's spreading through religious orders faster than Ethan is aging backward. The doctrine of prophetic stability, which has been the foundation of oracle training for over 2,000 years, states that true divine visions remain constant because divine truth is eternal and unchanging. But if the most accurate prophecies about the Chosen One are the ones that show him in constant flux, changing minute by minute, then either the doctrine is wrong, or Ethan represents something beyond normal divine truth, something so fundamentally dynamic that even eternal wisdom has to adapt to keep up with his nature. The practical consequences of minute-by-minute prophetic updates are creating unprecedented challenges for everyone trying to coordinate with the Chosen One's mission, and what the prophetic logistics department is dealing with will make every scheduler in existence break out in cold sweats. Military commanders who request prophetic guidance about troop coordination are receiving battle plans that are obsolete before the messengers can deliver them. Diplomatic envoys seeking oracle advice about negotiating with Ethan arrive at their meetings to discover that the person they're meeting looks significantly different from the prophetic descriptions they were given just hours earlier. Supply officers trying to provision equipment based on prophetic specifications find themselves dealing with gear that no longer fits their rapidly changing hero. The Oracle network has been forced to develop entirely new categories of prophetic communication to deal with this unprecedented situation, and what they've created will revolutionize divine messaging forever. Flash prophecies provide immediate updates about Ethan's current state, but are only guaranteed accurate for approximately 15 minutes. Trend prophecies attempt to predict the rate and direction of his changes rather than his specific appearance at any given moment. Most remarkably, they've developed probability cascade prophecies that show multiple potential versions of Ethan existing simultaneously, allowing recipients to prepare for whichever version they encounter. But here's where things get truly incredible, and what the deepest analysis of these rapid prophetic changes reveals will make you reconsider the entire nature of heroism, destiny, and cosmic purpose. The master analysts of the Celestial Archive have discovered that Ethan's minute-by-minute aging reversal isn't random. It's following a precise mathematical pattern that corresponds to cosmic cycles of renewal and possibility. His transformation isn't chaotic change. It's ordered regression following universal principles that most mortal minds struggle to comprehend. He's not randomly getting younger. He's systematically accessing earlier states of unlimited potential in perfect harmony with cosmic rhythms that operate on scales far beyond normal human perception. The enemy forces have been thrown into complete strategic confusion by the impossibility of planning attacks against someone whose fundamental nature changes faster than intelligence reports can be processed. And what the Dark Lords are attempting in response reveals just how dependent evil is on predictable, static targets. The Shadow Intelligence Network, which has spent decades gathering information about the Chosen One's capabilities and weaknesses, finds their entire database becoming obsolete multiple times per day. Assassination plots designed around specific vulnerabilities become meaningless when the target transforms beyond recognition before the assassins can reach him. Military strategies based on countering particular fighting styles collapse when the opponent's approach to combat evolves between the planning phase and execution. The Void Emperor himself has reportedly entered into fits of rage so intense that his dark citadel shakes with cosmic fury as he struggles to adapt his ultimate evil plans to counter an opponent who refuses to remain consistent long enough to be properly opposed. His war councils, traditionally focused on exploiting static weaknesses in heroic archetypes, now spend most of their time trying to develop flexible response protocols for dealing with a hero whose very nature defies categorization. The forces of darkness, which have always succeeded by understanding and corrupting fixed patterns of good, find themselves helpless against pure, fluid potential that changes too rapidly to be analyzed or undermined. The theological implications of minute-by-minute prophetic updates are forcing a complete re-evaluation of fundamental religious concepts about divine will, eternal truth, and the nature of cosmic destiny. The Seminary of Sacred Studies has established emergency committees to address the doctrinal challenges created by prophecy that changes faster than mortal minds can process. If divine will can shift minute by minute, what does that say about the eternal nature of divine truth? If the most accurate prophecies are the ones that show constant change, what does that mean for religious teachings based on unchanging cosmic principles? The theological community is grappling with the possibility that they've spent centuries misunderstanding the dynamic nature of divine communication. But perhaps the most remarkable discovery about the rapid prophetic updates is what they're revealing about the true purpose of the Chosen One's mission. And what the deepest oracle analysis is uncovering will make you understand why this minute-by-minute transformation might be the most brilliant cosmic strategy ever conceived. The ancient prophecies, when viewed through the lens of constant change rather than static destiny, reveal that Ethan isn't meant to defeat evil as a fixed hero with predetermined capabilities. He's meant to become so temporally fluid that evil cannot predict, counter, or adapt to his actions because he transcends the very concept of consistent identity that makes strategic opposition possible. The final prophetic updates coming in as I record this show. Ethan, now appearing to be approximately 19 years old and continuing his rapid regression. But the oracles report something unprecedented. Instead of becoming weaker or less capable as he grows younger, he's becoming more unpredictable, more creatively powerful, more impossible to categorize or counter. The minute-by-minute updates reveal a hero who is transforming from a predictable champion, following a predetermined path, into something that exists outside normal categories of heroic archetype. A being of pure, fluid potential that evil cannot comprehend, predict, or defeat because it never remains the same long enough to be understood. The communication infrastructure of the entire prophetic network has been permanently transformed by the necessity of providing real-time updates about the Chosen One. And what this means for the future of divine communication will revolutionize how mortals interact with cosmic destiny. The Oracle Network has proven that prophecy can adapt, evolve, and operate in real time when dealing with situations that transcend normal temporal limitations. They've demonstrated that divine communication is far more flexible and responsive than anyone previously imagined, capable of providing guidance for situations that change faster than mortal decision-making processes can follow. As the final battle approaches, the prophetic updates are coming in at an even more accelerated pace, with some oracles reporting that they're receiving new visions about Ethan's transformation every few minutes. The latest updates show something that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the relationship between age, power, and heroic capability. As he becomes younger, he's not losing abilities. He's gaining access to forms of potential that don't exist in mature, fully formed individuals. He's becoming not weaker, but more impossibly powerful in ways that transcend traditional categories of strength, wisdom, and heroic capability. The Void Emperor's final desperate strategy reveals just how completely the minute-by-minute prophetic updates have disrupted the cosmic balance of power. And what he's attempting will either stabilize the prophetic system or prove, once and for all, that fluid, changing truth is infinitely more powerful than static eternal principles. Intelligence reports suggest he's trying to force Ethan's transformation to stop, to lock him into a single age and identity that can be properly opposed and defeated. But here's the cosmic irony that will determine the fate of all existence. By trying to stop change, evil reveals its fundamental dependence on predictable, static targets, while good demonstrates that its ultimate power lies in unlimited potential that refuses to be contained by any fixed definition. The ultimate confrontation approaches not according to any predetermined prophetic timeline, but according to the fluid rhythm of constant transformation and unlimited possibility. The outcome will be determined not by traditional heroic capabilities, but by the power of pure, ever-changing potential against the forces of static, predictable evil. The minute-by-minute updates continue, and each one shows Ethan becoming something that exists beyond normal categories of heroism. Not a fixed champion, but a living embodiment of infinite possibility that changes too rapidly for evil to counter. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, because in our next video, we're analyzing the latest prophetic updates, showing what happens when the Chosen One's rapid transformation reaches its ultimate phase, and why the oracles believe this minute-by-minute change might be the key to a form of victory that transcends every previous understanding of how good triumphs over evil.